When you're learning vocabulary, one method that's very useful and very effective is what's called the spaced repetition method. The spaced repetition method is different from regular drilling of vocabulary terms because a lot of times when people drill and they use flashcards or their notebooks, they just go through their words and they review them over and over again every day. With spaced repetition, you're still going to review words, but what you do is you remove the correct words from the deck and review them later, not each day. The correct words are reviewed less frequently. The more often a word is correct, the less review is done over time. However, with incorrect words, review them more frequently. The theory behind spaced repetition is that over time, words move from the short-term memory into the long-term memory. It requires less review, and eventually, the words become a permanent part of the memory. An example of a spaced repetition system is what's called the Leitner system. So let's imagine, for example, that you learned the word cat. On a Sunday, you test yourself and you know the word correctly. Now you move the word cat into box number 2. You won't review the word until 2 days later. So on Tuesday, you review the word again. You remember cat, and because you do, you move the word to box number 3. Now you won't review the word again until 3 days later. So now it's Friday, you review the word again, and you got it correct. So now your cat moves to box number 4. 4 days later, the following Tuesday, you review the word again. And it continues like this. Every time you get the word correct, you space the word further and further into the future. You'll reach a point where you won't see the word again for a month, and then months, then a year or longer. Eventually, it should move from your short-term memory into your long-term memory. Now, let's say that you learned the word bird, and on Sunday, you reviewed it and got it correct. It would go into box number 2. 2 days later, Tuesday, you test yourself, but you forgot what the word bird means. When you forget the meaning of a word, it needs to go back to the beginning, and you'll have to start from scratch again. Spaced repetition can be done manually, and this happens when we use paper flashcards and number boxes, containers, or envelopes. So basically you use pieces of paper or paper flashcards, and then you can use boxes or you can use envelopes to put your words inside. Each box or each envelope will have a number. So you can put 1, and that can represent 1 day. 2 can represent review after 2 days. 3 can represent review after 3 days, and so forth and so on. But you can also make use of a digital method, and the most famous digital method for spaced repetition is a program called Anki. So the Anki software is similar to Quizlet. It's digital, it can be used online, and it can be used as an app on your phone as well. You can download it onto your computer as well as an app. So how does it work? Well, Anki is an automatic spaced repetition program. You input words and phrases, and it automatically schedules reviews for you. If you get it wrong, it'll push your word back to the front of the queue, and you have to review it the next day. If you get it right, it'll automatically push the words forward for a review 2 days into the future, 3 days, 4 days, and so forth. Now, the thing about Anki is when you know a word very well, it'll push the words even further back. So it gives you choices. For example, let's look at the word cats again. Maybe I had absolutely no difficulty knowing what the word cat means. If that's the case, I can let Anki know that this was an extremely easy word for me, and it will push the word 5, 6, 7 days into the future for me. However, if it was a difficult term that I had to struggle to know, then maybe Anki will push it back into the future only 2 days. So depending on how easy or how difficult it was for you to recall the word, Anki will determine how far into the future it should review the word for you. But of course, as I said before, if you don't know the word and you can't get it, then Anki pushes the card back to the front of the queue, and you have to review the card the next day. Some of the features that Anki has include being able to add pictures, just like Quizlet, being able to add audio recordings of the word, and also there's a feature where you can limit the amount of new words that you drill. So let's say you were exposed to 50 new words today somehow, some way. You can input all those words into your deck, but you can limit the amount of new words that are introduced to you for review. You can limit it to 15 words, 20 words, or even 10 words. So that's good as well, especially if you're away from Anki for a while. You can limit how many words are given to you for tests or reviews, so it doesn't become overwhelming for you. You can even pause your scheduled reviews during vacations or during hectic times. If you're very busy at work or if you're very stressed out or something like that, you can pause your reviews, and then when you're ready to start your reviews again, you can let Anki know that you're available to start doing the reviews. Some of the benefits of using Anki is that you can take it with you everywhere because it's available on your phone as an app, and it's available on your laptop as an app as well. And since it's available in so many different areas as a website, as an app for computers, and also for phones, Anki syncs between the website, phone, and computer app. So whatever exercise you do on your phone, it'll sync to the app on your computer and on the website. So wherever you use Anki, you'll be in the same place, and you don't have to worry about if you reviewed today, if that review on your phone, if that review is going to show up on the website or on the computer. It all syncs together, and so you won't lose your place, or you won't over review or do things redundantly. A good benefit of Anki is that you don't need to do mathematics for the days to review. Anki sets the days automatically, so all you have to do is worry about going through your vocabulary and your flashcards. You don't have to do any kind of math. And it's a great way to help your words and your vocabulary to transition from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. So you're not just drilling every day just to drill, but now you have a goal of going from stranger to acquaintance to lifelong friend.